Hi everybody, it's Danielle with Inspire Me to DIY, and today I have an amazing project for you, and I'm so glad I did it ahead of time because I screwed up in every way possible. So now that I know the right way to do it, I get to show it to you. Yay! So, and I didn't even cry once, which I felt like it a number of times. Today we're going to make a table runner, and it's going to be for your fall, Thanksgiving, Halloween, whatever seasonal table. And what I bought was a canvas drop cloth from Walmart. It's 3 foot by 9 foot for $9. Well, $10. And if you were to go and buy 9 foot of fabric, 3 yards of fabric, it would not be $10. It would be a lot more. Saying all that, that's a great bargain, and I would do it again, but I might want to read some instructions first, which I did not do. A drop cloth is coated, and this is my piece of my drop cloth. It's really nice. It's just a canvas cloth, but it is coated with something, I don't know, because it smelled terrible. As soon as I took it out of the bag, I should have known it had a coating on it that keeps your, whatever you cover over, keeps it protected. Like, say you're going to cover a piece of furniture with this while you paint your walls. It has a coating on it so the paint doesn't go through it to whatever you're trying to protect down here. Well, that makes all kinds of sense because it's a drop cloth. I didn't realize that, and you need to wash your fabric first. Do not use fabric softener because then you'll have the same problem. But wash your fabric first, and I did not. So I wound up having to cut the piece to the length and size that I wanted and sew around all of it. I was hoping to glue around all of it, and once you wash this fabric, you can glue all around it. And it even said on my Fabric Fusion bottle, machine wash all your products first. Do not use fabric softener. 2 places it should have come to me to, yeah, why don't you wash this first? And I did not. Also, for the edges, I had this trim. I already had it, so it didn't cost me anything. This little fringe trim. This bottom piece is just tacked together until you get it on. It's a fringe. Can you see that? And I had this left over, so I thought, oh, well, it's a fall color, and I'll use that. If I was to go out and buy a fringe or a trim, I think I would have picked something different. But this is what I have. And yes, I wound up sewing it on. This is the edge of my table runner. I like my table runner to not go over the edges of my table. I want it to just lay flat across the top. If you want yours to go over the edge, measure that, cut the length you want, and with at least a good 1.5 to 2 inches extra around all your edges, because you're going to want to not fold it over just once, but you're going to want to fold it over twice, so you don't have any of the raw, I don't know if you can see that, the raw edges. So what I originally wanted to do was to fold it over once and glue it, fold it over twice and glue it. And then once you iron it, you don't see the glue anymore, and it's a nice seam. Didn't go that way, so luckily I do sew, and I love to sew, but I know a lot of people out there don't love to sew, so I try to make all my projects. How many times can I use the word sew? I like to make all my projects in a way that everybody can do them. Everybody can go out and buy a tube of glue. Not everybody can run a sewing machine or have the money to go out and buy a sewing machine because they're not cheap. So let's just say that our fabric is cut and all of our edges are done, however you want. Your trim is glued on. And if you don't want to use a trim, don't use a trim. This one's kind of, woo, bougie. Got a little flashy trim going on there. Kind of fancy for fall, but I like the colors. Also, I bought from the Dollar Tree 2 different kinds of leaves. All their fall stuff is out right now, and yeah, I'm one of those that can spend $50 at the Dollar Tree, but I got so much. Look at these leaves. I don't know about the reflection here. Aren't they great? And they also come wired. Oops. So they all have, let go. They all have wires on them if you want to put them in an arrangement and like stick them in there, that works. But for this project, I am going to take the wire right off. It just comes right off. And I'm going to glue this on my piece. Now, if you notice the picture that I posted before, I think I posted it last night on what I was planning to do. I wanted to see if anybody could guess what I was going to do. Good morning, Betty. How you doing, girl? I miss seeing your face. Hopefully soon. Where was I? Squirrel. Okay, yes, if you saw my picture last night, I posted, guess what I'm going to make. And I just had some of the materials out that I was going to use. I had my, let's see if I can reach it. I had my shirt. If you guys seen my video on my pumpkin pillow, I got this Ralph Lauren shirt, but it was perfect fall plaid. And I made a pillow out of that. Well, we're going to make our table runner to kind of match our pillow. So I cut out my oval shape out of, this is cardstock. But what I did is I took a piece of cardstock, folded it in half and folded it in half again. And I cut this shape out. So then when I opened it, all sides were equal. And if you don't like it just like this, you know, alter it a little bit. Here's my smaller version. It's got more of a point at the top. But depending on how you want your pumpkin to look, cut your oval out. So then I placed it on my fabric, drew around with my pen, and then cut those shapes out. So here are my pumpkin shapes, or my pumpkin shapes, my oval shapes, and you need 3 of them. Where's my third? There it is. You need 3 of them. You also need to cut a stem. You don't have to cut a stem. You can get your pumpkin glued on and then with a Sharpie marker, draw a cute stem. Put some little curly cues off of it, like the dried up vine from the pumpkin. However you want to do it. I chose to use denim and I cut a stem. And it's almost a rectangle, but it's wider at the bottom than the top. And I might trim that down also. Now I'm going to try to figure out where on the edge of my table runner I want to put this. So let me I'll try to do it upside down so you guys can see it at the same time. Let me put the rest in my lap. Can you see my fabric okay? We'll try this. And then just arrange your pieces. And I do have a good side and a bad side. Well, not bad. Inside out and right side too, as my mother would say. And I think my right side up is a little bit darker. And I could have ironed these. It probably would have looked a little better. I'm going to put my ovals just slightly apart from each other. What is... Oh, it's the seam of my paper. I thought I had some kind of bunch in my fabric. Okay, I need to move it over just a little bit so it's center. And just eyeball it. See, that's going to be like that. And then this one's going to be on top. Pumpkin. But I might put it... Oh, I got to remember it's upside down, so I kind of do want it that way. All right, so let's do our 2 ovals first. Ugh. This fabric is a very loose weave, so you can't just snip it and tear a long strip like you can a canvas fabric, because it will shred on you because the weave is so loose. Tried it, trust me. didn't work. Another trial and error that I did, luckily before I turned the video on. Okay. I just couldn't understand why this glue didn't work, because it worked so well on other things that I've done. And what is going on? But it was my fabric. So trial and error. I suppose I'm kind of glad that I do everything ahead of time, just in case. Somebody asked me if I was making something spooky with the materials I posted, and I said it could be. It depends on how well it goes during the video. It could be real scary. Okay. Fall is already hit here, and I am super happy. I mean, it's still in the 80s, but it is, today, right now, it's only 67% humidity, which is huge. A huge drop when you're used to 97%. I'm really happy. You know, even though it's still warm, it's really nice now. Tolerable. And I think we're going to the farmer's market tomorrow, so I'm happy about that. To me, that's fall. Going to the farmer's market, looking at getting a pumpkin, picking out different things. That's it. So I want to go down this way. Try not, if you're using plaid, try not to match your plaids up like, see, like that, because it looks like all one piece of fabric and you don't actually get the dimension of your pumpkin. I have such a hard time not matching things. Try a little bit like that. Let's try it. And I'm gluing half, so I don't have to pick the whole piece up and reposition it, because I might not get it right where I want it again. And then I've got glue smeared. There we go. Which would be par for the course, since I've had so much other fun stuff. Another idea I had for a table runner. We used to go to this party when we lived up north. I loved, it was a Halloween party. I loved these Halloween parties we would go to. But she would, the host, my friend, she would have a paper table runner across the whole length of her table, and all of us, some of my most favorite times are sitting around that table talking with friends. And she would, everybody would just have markers around, and you could draw on it, you could write funny things on it, and we would get to talking about crazy stuff, and somebody would write down something about our conversation. And then she would bring it out every so often, like year after year, and we would add to it. I think that is brilliant. That is a genius idea, especially to bring out when you have, you know, your family around and your small children are now grown children, and they see the stuff that they made so long ago. And you can draw on top of whatever you've drawn on before. Just keep adding and adding until the whole thing is filled up. I think that's awesome. If you don't want to do it out of paper, I've also seen where, and you might not want to do this with small children, but where you write things in a bleach pen on denim or something like that as a table runner. Make sure you have something nice and thick underneath your table runner so that bleach doesn't go to the table. But that's also another way of keeping things for a long time, because sometimes paper just doesn't do it. Okay, some of my glue has smooshed out. I'm going to fold a little bit of this back so I can put my stem in there. We don't really do any Halloween parties here in Florida, but we always have, I'm going to set this on my paper, we always have a group at Thanksgiving and Christmas. And you know, Christmas is always here, but Thanksgiving has been at our other friends' homes. So we all get to share a little bit as to who does the hosting. And I love to do the hosting. That is my favorite, because I have a husband that's an amazing cook and I don't have to do that part. I just get to do the decorating, which of course is my love. The cooking is his love. And then my friends and I do the cleanup afterwards. So it's a win for everybody. So here's my pumpkin so far. What do you think? And I could even take a marker and draw little curly cues off of this, and I might do that later, if I wanted to make it look like the stem that you had already cut and it's dried up. I always like that, the little piece of it also. Coffee break. Nope, none of those pumpkins have the little curly things on them. So I went to Joann Fabrics yesterday, and they have their giant pumpkins, the carvable pumpkins, for 60% off. Got me 3 of them. So happy. If you've been pricing those pumpkins, they are super expensive. So 60% off is huge. So I'm hoping to put them out by my front door to add to what I already have out there. And I promise I will get pictures as soon as I get that all done. All right, so now I want to glue my leaves. I bought this kind, little oak leaf, and then I think this one's supposed to be a maple leaf. Let me pull the wires down. Up. Oh, I must have already pulled that wire off. Nope, here it is. It pulled itself off. So if you wanted to use a wire, I guess you're going to have to glue it back on. But 5 of them for $1. Dollar Tree. Okay, so let's, I don't know, I kind of like that. Or kind of like that. Ooh, I like that. Let's do that. Let's do it. Okay. And again, I'm going to put my glue off, or put my glue on my leaf over here on my newspaper. That way I don't get it on my table. Yeah, my table's taking a beating with all my crafts, but I clean it off, and it cleans off really good. Plus, I think it gives it a little character. It had a lot of character to start off with. I don't know if you'd heard my story before, but we had found this table alongside the road, and actually it was that our neighbor was getting rid of it, and they had it alongside the road with a free sign, so we grabbed it right up. But it had some issues to start with, so me adding a little more issues to it, not so bad. Wow. Look how quick and easy that was once you get your sides done. Now I think mine is maybe like 16 inches wide. I think something like that, 15, 16. And then my table's really long, so I think it's like 108 inches, something like that. So that's what I cut mine as, and like I said before, I sewed mine. But if you wash this material, you can glue the edges. I have so much of this material left. I mean, just look at all this. I have all this left for other projects, which I plan on doing tons and tons of projects with this. Hey, Katrina, girl, how's it going? I will get tons of stuff out of this. I'm thinking of cutting circles and then layering them with circles of lace and stuff, putting a button in the center and making flowers. And I have seen those on hair bows, on pins, all sorts of stuff, and then adding like little antique-y looking pieces to it. I want to do that. I might even add some of my fringe to it. I mean, I don't know. I got all this leftover stuff that I plan I'm making things with. There's my pumpkin, and I already did one on the other side. So it's all wrinkled. I'll probably wind up ironing these later. Get off of there. But can you see? There's my, let's fold that under. There's my two pumpkins, and they're not alike. My leaves are in different places. Oh, I'm having a hard time getting that. Can you see it? There we go. So that's my project for today. Super easy once I read the directions and figured everything out. But hey, it matches my pumpkin pillow, and I might even do a couple more pumpkin things with this shirt fabric. That was like $3 at Goodwill. So much stuff you can make to make your house beautiful on hardly any money. And if you're like me, yeah, I can go out and buy that pillow for $50. But why when for just a few pennies, okay, so just a few dollars, between $5 and $10, I can make a table runner, a pillow, and have all this stuff left over. So why not? There's all different holidays. I might even make Christmas ornaments out of some of this. Maybe this and some of this fabric, not this color. Maybe some Christmas plaid and put them in the little embroidery hoops. And it really didn't cost anything because I already have all the stuff. I love this. So if you love what you've seen and you want to see more, follow my page, Inspire Me, the number 2, DIY. And if you would like to read more about how I have decorated my home for the different holidays and just remodeling in general, you can follow my blog at Inspire Me to DIY, the number 2, DIY.com. And I also have a t-shirt boutique where I've got a great couple of Christmas t-shirts that I've already got done, just ready to put out there in a couple of weeks. So that'll be starting at InspireMeFabulous.com. So follow me. I love to see you guys. I really, really enjoy talking to you every Saturday. Next week, my husband and I are on vacation because it's our 20th wedding anniversary. I can't believe he put up with me this long. It's our 20th wedding anniversary, and we are going to go away. So I am going to do a live video on Tuesday night. So I will see you then. I have no idea what it is yet, but we'll figure it out, and hopefully it goes together better than this one did to start with. It went great towards the end, but to start with, it was a little wonky. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Saturday, and if you're a football fan, enjoy your football. Happy fall. Bye.